Hey guys, it's Gintas from Clean by G Detailing. A little bit backstory about me. I have a detailing business in UK, but at the moment I'm visiting my in-laws in Czech Republic. So I decided to clean their car, which is a little Hyundai. Normally they take their car to like a washing car wash type of machine where you find in most garages, or they do it at home with one bucket and washing up liquid. But I'll try to use a proper method as far as I can. Normal process would be rinse the car, apply the snow foam, rinse it off, then use 2-bucket method to contact wash the car, and afterwards dry it with a towel and use some protection to protect the car afterwards. But I don't have most of the tools in here, so I managed to get a few things from the store. One of them is Auto Finesse Citrus Power. So they use this in a pre-wash stage, so rinse the car off, spray this on, leave it a couple minutes, then rinse it off again, and this will remove most of the dirt from the car. Then I managed to get a Auto Finesse Leather, which is a car shampoo. Has a good lubrication. I'll be using it with this wash mitt as well, but I have just one bucket, so I will have to use the shampoo in that bucket and then use the hose to clean the pad after each panel to prevent any additional scratches on the car. So once the car is washed, normally I would dry it with a towel, but I have just one towel, so I will leave the car to dry on its own and then use this towel and ceramic gloss enhancer to add protection layer of the car on the car and remove these water marks after the wash, because I'm not using a clear water as I normally do with my detailing business in UK. So this is what I'm gonna do. Have a look. Everything I'll be using is lined up. First I get the bucket ready with 3 squares of leather. So in this case I was using hose to rinse off the car because I didn't have access to a pressure washer. It takes much longer time with the hose and doesn't take off as much dirt as using a pressure washer. Once I finished rinsing off the car, sprayed with Citrus Power from Auto Finesse to help remove even more dirt and grime from the car, including the bugs as well. This will allow me to make sure that it is as less grime left on the car before the contact wash. So the Citrus Power was sitting on the car for about a minute or so. I didn't want to keep it for too long because it was a hot day and it can dry on the paint, which we don't want to happen. Usually rinse off process starts from the top, moving down the car to help to get the dirt run off the car better. As you see here, I decided to use a bit more of a citrus power on the car because I haven't managed to remove as much dirt from the car as I was hoping for. So this will help me to soften up that dirt before I use my mitt to wash it off. You might hear some funny noises in the background because here it's in a countryside. You can hear lots of animals. So for the contact wash process is you need to soak in the mitt in the bucket, wipe off one panel, then squeeze all the excess out on the ground, rinse the mitt off with a hose, again squeeze all the excess out and dip it in again in the bucket to soak the mitt with the shampoo, and then move on to our next panel and the next panel and so on. In a normal circumstances, when I have all my tools, I normally start with the wheels, separate bucket for the wheels and separate brushes and detailing brushes for the wheels. But in this case I have just one mitt, so that's why I'm starting from the top and then moving down to the vehicle, and then I'll keep the wheels for the last because I don't want the mitt to become too dirty if I would do the wheels in the beginning. Otherwise I would scratch the surface of the paint. So the contact wash process has finished. Now again we need to rinse off all the dirt and grime which is left in the car, so it will be clean and ready to dry. So I'm not using the drying towel in this case because I have just one towel which I'll be using for the detailer, the ceramic enhancer, which will help me to remove the water spots and all the leftovers and protect the car. Here I'll stop the video and let the car to dry. Once it's dry, I'll start the video again, and then you'll see the following processes. One tip before you use a towel, if it's a new towel and you haven't washed it before, make sure there is no fluff on it, otherwise all that fluff will get stuck to the car and it won't look nice. So now I'll be applying the ceramic spray on the car, which will help me to add the gloss to the car, remove the water spots, and add a protection layer on the car as well, which will add hydrophobic features. So this ceramic coating I was applying to most surfaces, including paint, glass, trim and wheels. I tried adding it on the tires, but it doesn't stick very well to the rubber, so I wouldn't advise to do that. As you can see from the video, the towel is folded twice, so I spray on the ceramics on the towel and then apply it to the car, then flip the towel over and then buff it off. So make sure you keep at least one side of the towel dry so you can buff off the product once you apply it. Applying this ceramic coat, ceramic spray, I would say with this towel, which purpose is mainly for drying, so it's a bit more thick. It made it a little bit harder to apply the spray because of that. So if you do have smaller microfiber towels, which will be a little bit easier to apply, less thick microfiber towels, and then you can buff it off with a thicker towel. So here is the end result. It looks clean and glossy and shiny. Obviously I couldn't remove everything from the car because I had just limited tools and chemicals. I would need to use tar and glue remover, as well as iron dust remover, maybe even a clay bar to remove the remaining parts of the contaminants from the car.